Well, we are on this side of the Subaru, and as you can see, I made the flanges just like I did on the Audi. Put them in there. Still have to do some more trimming, but the main thing is I need to get the rocker panel on. Now that we have, I'm running into not more problems, but a lot of small problems with this, and it's not so much the fenders. It's the fenders are starting to fit, even though I don't think they're exactly right, because right here I'm gonna have to cut off some of the supports on the bottom, and I'll show you that later. Because when we extend out the wheel wells to actually fit this, you'll see that where I'm gonna have to cut. And on the inside is also a couple of really interesting things I'm gonna have to show you. But I think first we need to do is to get the door off so I can put or rough in the rocker panels. That is kind of a, not a defining moment, but it's actually it's a big moment in the build of this car, because after that is done, I'm going to put it back down. I'll take it off the jack stands. That way I can move it around and start putting the drivetrains in the Audis, and we'll just get that all squared away. You know, I mean, there's still a couple of things. This car was definitely damaged. This thing has hit a lot of things, but it hasn't hit the lottery. That's about it. Or what was it? What do people say? You know, it's you know, every panel in the car has hit everything except the lottery. But hopefully, I'm not going to be the one that has the incident of road and talent running out at the same time. So let's get the door off, so we can cut the rockers out, and we also have to fix the bottoms of the doors because they're all rusty, you know. And this is what you get. See, they rhino lined this or bed coated it or undercoated it because they were too lazy to actually fix the rust. All they did was just, you know, scuff it and spray right over it, and this is what happens. And a lot of this stuff on this rust, after I cut it out, when I go back over it, I'm going to use a phosphoric acid to neutralize it, and then clean it up and paint it and so forth. Just same thing on the other one. Use phosphoric acid. It takes out most of the rust, deneutralize it, prime it, put it back on. It should stay for a long time, but once you have rust, it never goes away, you know, no matter what it is. So, well, let's get on to popping this door out. One thing I'm trying to do is align up these marks right here, and there's an indentation for this molding. So I'm going to, you know, I'm trying to mark all that out. One thing down here I found, I just noticed that I'm going to have to bring this thing back a little bit. But if we have it set right there, when I have it, drill that out and set it, so that's going to be its final placement. But doing the rockers, it just has to be rough cut it in anyway, so it's not going to be perfect fit. The perfect fit comes later, you know. The main thing is just getting it on there. First thing we're going to do, we have the ripcord here. It looks like it's about a 1/4 inch low, maybe not even that much. But what I want to do, seeing how this thing has to go in further, I want to mark where this 1/4 is, because I got to take this thing off. This is the old weld that the kid did. I'm just going to cut this from right here. Just going to cut it right off, like that. So I can put the, so I can start fitting the rocker like this. I need to get this thing more in there so we can start form fitting this. And then I have to drill a hole over there and into that. So let me bring the camera down. Here are the welds that the previous owner did. As you see, it's so rotted. I mean, it's pretty bad. But getting rid of that, I'll have the fresh metal. Get that out of here. I'll have fresh metal put in there. This is what I'm going to use. I use these right here, these same things over in the Audi. but instead of cutting it here, I'm going to cut it here. So it's going to go in like that, and it's going to go under here. So I have places to lock it to, you know, with the panel bond. Don't know how I'm going to set it all up. I think I'm going to probably have a top plate, but not sure yet. You know, it's the actions of discovery. So let's pop this off. Let's pop this off, and I'm also going to show you what the. Let's pop this off. I'm going to show you what's behind it, and one of the major things I found that's either really bad or a blessing in disguise. You can run it either way. It's a problem that it's going to add work, but I think I figured out a solution to making it actually be a plus rather than a negative for chassis stiffening. So let me pull this off. Okay, I wanted to show you. See, this is all rusty. All this stuff. So this all has to be cut out. Main thing is trying to keep an interior in the car, making it look stock. With the rust here, I have to make another, put a plate in here. One of two ways, either go inside, go in this way, or cut here, pull this out. What it is I'll weld it back in, but I'll fix the plate, and what I want to do is put a piece of roll cage tubing to act as a strut tie bar to tie the chassis more in, but I have to have the seats in there to figure out where exactly it's going to go. That's the only problem right now. So I can't fix it right now, so let's zip on down to the rocker. Well, actually this is pretty good. This is a rocker panel from the Northeast. Lovely. Well, let me put the recorder back on and start fitting it up. Heck, I might even put that bar in there just to support this. All right, now this is in. Let me go bolt in the front fender. Then we can start shaping up the rocker panel and get this done for the day. Well, let me show you. We're going to have to trim this because we have to fit it more flush. It's not even set with the angle of the fender. Now the back one here is the same thing. Okay, here's the rockers. Now that the rocker is there, it's level with the front. We're going to have to trim that. This thing is right on the money. I'm pretty impressed. We have to get rid of this right here to make it equal with the fender line. Let's go back over here. And so it looks like it's going to have to be like that. So let me get a file and my respirator on, because this is probably give a, a bunch of stuff in the air. So I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll use a file. And we'll form fit the rocker to the fender. Then we see how much we have to build up inside here. I think that is relatively, I think it's an acceptable gap. Just a little bit right here. Let's see how I can get the back set up, And then that is, that is pretty much what I want to do here right now on this side. I'm going to probably go to the other side and fit that off camera. But I want to get, let's get this other side completely fitted down there. It has to go in more. And one thing I found out, or one thing I just saw, is that when these things mate, it's not a flared out. So it's just like the other Audi panels. They're warped after they come out of the molds. So be advised, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a, a warped panel. Probably know, depending on how they cured it. So, but let's go over here and try and square that away, so it's equidistant here to here and over there. Now, here we are with the rocker. If I push it really far in, it gets pretty much the same equidistant from the front to the rear off of the side sill. Now, these gaps are definitely well beyond what I have over there. So what I want to do is, actually I'm going to make the rocker end here. I'm going to put this like this and scribe it. Just start taking some of the stuff off. Okay, we got this side fitted. Here is this. It's definitely more compressed here, but if we push it in to where the quarter is actually mating the side of the bodywork, like that, it tightens right up, and it's relatively straight. This line from the factory is not, from the guys who made the body kit, it's all wavy, so you can't really do a measurement. It has to look all right, and it does. I want to do the other side because I want to think about how I'm going to attach everything, or how to make it look, and whether or not I have to come back and do more grinding. Now we're over here on the other side. I wanted to at least show you what I'm running into on this. I forgot, I should have done this side, because this side is actually the worst, not the worst side in terms of rust, but when they decided to try and flare the fenders, come over here, take a look at this. They tacked this out and they didn't align, they cut right along the seam, which means I'm gonna have to build up the area all in back of here, which I knew, this has all been smashed, so I have to pull this all out. I'm just gonna cut that. I'm gonna put in that 90-degree angle, and I'm gonna roughly fit. I'm not gonna really do a lot on fitting the rocker on this side, but I want to get it on and into position. That's my main goal right now, so I can get it off the jack stands and move it around. Because one of the things I really want to do with this car is finish the interior. The interior is all laid up, but I just have to do some small welding here and there and start putting that together. Do the door, and after the door, then we're going to get the final, then we'll do final fitting. But I have to first cut this, cut that down along, cut right down here to allow this to go flush in, and cut, as you can see, all the way down through here. Because all they do is tack all this stuff in, which isn't bad. It just, it's just, creating more work. But it's, the rock is already cut off, so I can just blast it off. So let me just do that, and we'll get this one fit. This is all rotted. Wow, that's stuff. That's right on there. Wow, cool. Yeah, flat against it too. Damn. All right. Let's bolt up the fenders. Take a look. This isn't even close. This is awful, So we got a lot of trimming on this one. I might actually break out the air, start the compressor, break out the air grinder, because it is a lot. We're sitting here, if this is touching, and this is a, you know, what is that? Maybe a centimeter. We're gonna have to go like this over to here and go right in like that. So I probably won't, I'm not going to follow this contour, but you see what I'm saying. Just to bring it back in. That's horrible. I mean, and it's, you know, flush. Yeah. That's where it's supposed to be. Right there. So go from here. I don't like that. Yeah, well, give it a shot. Here's the end. Goes like this, but you know, whether or not, you know, this is I mean, the length is better on this side than it was on that side, on the other side, and then the odd, you know, but it still needs a lot of trimming to mold up to the corner. So I'll do the front first, and then do the back here. It's going to be interesting, especially when it's all painted. But boy, do I have some finished work to do. Oh my God. But at least it's roughly there. I think I'm going to get the drill. Just put a couple of tacks into the into the rocker panels to keep them into the quarters into the front fender. Bolt the door back up and just see exactly what it's going to look like. So yeah, let me go do that. Wow. One thing I just discovered. Take a look. This is where the rocker panel is, and it goes against the pinch weld, and which what I thought it was supposed to be. But if you look at it, the rocker comes down to here. All this should be buttoned up against here. So when you push it in like this, you go. If you here, let me go up here. See, what happens if you pull that down and push this in? It goes over that lip, and it actually goes up tight to the door. So one thing you're going to run into if you buy this body kit is I'm going to take the whiz wheel, I'm going to cut that down so we can push it in. So it actually doesn't look like it's all flare, you know, it looks weird because the front slicks actually fit pretty well, but the rear slicks don't. But when you push it in, they fit much better. So I'm going to cut that off, and we'll see how it looks a little bit. I think it's going to look a lot better. So what's the worst that happen? I'll just have to add metal to it. Oh, much better. Much better. Oh yeah, I like that. There's one.